Hello, ineffable being. How are you doing? Hope you're having a wonderful, magical day. I want to tell you that you are a genius. You are special. You mean the world, and you are loved. Ineffable being, where are you going? And the reason I ask that is, do we know where we're going? Do we know our end result? If we're still looking for one, then kudos to you. That's great. Because it's only once you know where you're going that the devil arises. Or the synonym to that can be, it's only when you know where you're going that the unconscious presents other routes that you can take. It's only when you know where you're going that you start to second guess yourself. It's only when you know where you're going that you see other possibilities or you see doubt. Why? Why is this? Well, that's simply the way the brain works. The brain is a critical machine, and it's always making analytical decisions. It's receiving and transmitting information. So what I look at, and that's the topic of this video, and I wanted to make a topic about this because it's very important to know how to get where you want to go, but understand the full swing of things. Because it sounds very cute and easy. Hey, just decide what you want. Decide the money, decide the car, decide the dream house, decide the job, decide the dream that you want to live, and go and do it. But we fail to take a step back and look at what goes behind the scenes, what's under the hood of someone that's moving forward towards what they want. So what I look at whenever I decide to implement things, and that's what we're going to be discussing here in this video. What I look at whenever I am deciding, am I going to adopt this into my life? So a couple things. I create videos daily. I have a monthly masterclass. I have personal development trainings. I'm creating corporate employee trainings. I am constantly working on my financial literacy and also, bettering my personal intelligence, communication skills, health and wellness. There's so many things that I am bringing onto my life. So quickly, let me tell you my end goal. My end goal is to raise the collective consciousness. That's my purpose. That's what I decided. That's what I'm going to do. That's what I'm good at. So once I wrote down, Luis, this is your end goal. This is what you're going to work towards. It was only then that doubt comes in. Because it's only when you know where you're going that you can think, well, maybe I'm not worthy. Because if you don't know where you're going, then there's no chance of unconscious thoughts presenting the idea of not continuing to walk the path. It's only when you know that where you're going that it's going to get difficult, that you have to get up every day. For myself, record videos, constantly do the masterclass. For you, if you're looking to be a chef, then perhaps you got to be in those classes, you got to take the tutoring, you got to get the mentorship, you got to work in restaurants, you have to work below someone, and that's a process, correct? So what I look at in my life is I want to be the best version of myself. So there are a couple things, right? Well, there's health, there's finances, there's wealth, there's communication skills, intelligence, memories, strength, power, energy. So it's so easy at this time of day to get bombarded and feel overwhelmed because there's so many amazing people in my field. I have Bob Proctor, Dr. Joe Dispenza, Dr. Bruce Lipton, Dr. Safali. We have Sadhguru. We have Tony Robbins, Dean Grazios. And I could just keep going and going and going. But it hit me one day that I was consuming too much information. And I didn't really decide, who I'm going to listen to. So this is something that is very important. I knew where I'm going, but now it's like I'm building the tools, right? Well, my health, my finances, my communication skills, my energy, my intelligence, my memory, all these things are ways to kind of get to my end goal for me. So along your journey, if you know where you're going, then I advise you to look at everything as if you, and compare it to doing it forever. So in essence, what I look at is in terms of forever. Whenever I decided to be vegan, whenever I decided to start becoming more literate with finances, when I started working on my health, when I started changing my habits, my attitudes, and the people I hang out with, my time management, all these things, what I fall back on is this something that I can do forever? And if the answer is yes, and logically and emotionally it makes sense, then I adopt it into my life. One little thing, Excel training. Now, surely once I complete, I'm like a full certified master at just this very small portion of my life, then I'll be completed, right? You might say, well, that's not forever because it maybe maximum takes a couple months. Well, the question is this something that I want to adopt? Is this valuable enough that I can continue this for the rest of my life? Now, sure, there are things that once we complete, then we're done. But the bigger things of life, for example, financial literacy, health, wellness, success, your intelligence, and all these other things, then there are certainly people that you can listen to. We call them mentors, and they're going to guide you how to better. There's certainly things that science has without dispute that are better for you than other things. Is that not correct? Now, I'm a vegan, I'm almost a raw vegan, and that was one decision I had to look at, like, Luis, can you be a raw vegan for the rest of your life? So what did I do before just accepting this, before just saying like, oh, there's animal suffering, there's global warming, climate change, this industry, the agriculture industry is so negative. What did I do before just looking at my external life? I looked at myself. I looked internally and I said, Luis, is this something you could do for the rest of your life? Does this merit you even thinking about it in terms of forever? And if the answer is yes, then it's going to be a lot easier for you to make those tough decisions. And if the answer is no, then perhaps this is something you can put off to the side. It's not necessarily a good thing. Maybe you're not in the correct position to adopt this new lifestyle, this new habit, this new goal. So along your journey in Apple well-being, after you have decided where you're going, and of course this video is only for us that we know where we're going and it's yes or yes, right? So it's about having divergent view of life, right? We have to be open to life, but be convergent with our views, with what our end goal is. So divergent to life means I am open to life, right? But in the moment of whenever deciding what our end goal is, that is where we should be convergent. That's where we should be narrow focused. But there's a paradox here because there's so much information. There's so many different mentors that you can have. There's so much different things that you could do to become wealthy, to become healthier, to become successful, to be able to speak better. So I ask you, do not get overwhelmed. Excuse me, this is not a question, this is a statement. So I tell you, before you adopt something into your life, look at yourself and say, does this merit forever? Is this sufficient enough? Is it valuable enough? Does this merit me thinking in terms of forever? Because if you're going to do something, accept something forever, then surely you're going to have to be more critical in your life. Because I'm sure, as many of us are, that you want to have pleasantness within and pleasantness without. And if that's all you want, then I'm sure you might be a like-minded person like me and think, well, if I think of this for doing it forever, it's going to be very clear if something is a positive or if it's a negative. Again, whenever we look at things in terms of forever, it's going to be a lot easier to decide if X, Y, or Z is something that's positive, that's going to help me reach my goals, or something that's negative, that's going to lessen my reach in lieu of receiving my goals. And ineffable beings, this is what I look at. Whenever life is presented to me, a possibility, a new habit, a new mentor, I look at it this way. Because only through this filter, only by giving it the value it deserves, and thinking, Luis, can you really do this forever? Then only here I can decide and think clearly if this is something positive or negative. And remember, there's so many amazing mentors and teachers and books out there. But it's not that we're supposed to consume all of it. That is overwhelming. But we have to have a convergent view as to where we're going and be divergent to life. Ineffable being, I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please put down in the comments, what topics would you like for me to cover in the future? And put down in the comments, did you enjoy this video? Did you receive value from this video? And also, if you did not like it or did not receive any value, please give this video a big thumbs up and share. I hope to see you on the side of light. Goodbye.